Hello, my crafty friends. Again, this is Lori. I'm up. I have another little book that I finished. That's my goal today, is videoing all my books that I had half started that I finished. This is a traveler's notebook size, but it's a little bigger. It's a 9 by 4.5. So the cover is a little bigger. So I would just use it on its own. All the paper's been coffee dyed. There's a variety of paper. This one is named Lorna. And Lorna grew up in a mining town, and her father was killed a couple years back. This is back in the 1800s. And her mom had taken ill and sent for her, a friend's brother to come get her. And by this time, Lorna was a young lady. So she grabbed a bunch of her mother's stuff, and we'll go through it. And this is 48 pages front to back. And so Lorna was going to be back on the wagon train. So she grabbed some of her, this is her mother's tablecloth. She's got vintage tablecloth, some postcards, and some paper. And this is a piece of her mama's dress in my mind. Again, I love these little prairie hats. And a calendar that you can write in there. This is a picture of her mama. And unbeknownst to Lorna, she would fall in love. When Chase seen her, she would fall in love. And everything would be good. So this is just pieces of her mama's dress. And there's the little Sue Olson dress with some of the weeds. And this is just a nice long tag that she could write her notes on. This is something that her mom might have sewn, and she just grabbed it along with some of trim from a little curtain, because they used to do all the washing for the miners. And another little pretty piece of material. And this was a seed packet that she had kept tucked away. And just a little note that maybe her mom had wrote her. Again, a piece of her mama's dress. This was such a good book. And some more, maybe a curtain. So they never wasted anything like we kind of do. And this was just I put a little, I sewed it in there, a little tea bag book that whoever gets this book can kind of put their own little imagination with little ripped pieces of paper that they might have found in a miner's trousers when they were washing. So Lorna kept everything. And some more of the coffee filters. And here is just craft worthy and vintage finds. This is some stamps I had. And a piece of muslin, and a piece of, again, another pretty piece of material. And canning jars, because they can. So I put some there with an envelope. Another little tab with the material. And some more, you could still write on them. Irene pocket with coffee filter and a doily. And some muslin. And here's another little booklet that she would write her secret notes in. And I didn't sew it together, so I'll be zipping that up on the sewing machine. With a pocket. There's still a lot of room for writing. And another little coffee filter that it really takes the glue well, with a little trim and two little kids at the mercantile. And some crunchy paper. I did some stamps of some bricks, so for writing. Some pretty vintage paper, guest check. Again, I did another little book for her journey along the way. And another little piece of ephemera. Another little tag, or a piece of maybe a little pretty little curtain. And there was a necklace that her mama had given her. Again, in my mind. And there's some pretty paper digital magpie that came from. Isn't that pretty? Very vintage. This I don't think. Oh yeah, it does flip up. It's a piece of mulberry paper. Did some stamping and some more pieces of her dress. And some other little envelope. And a little pocket. That's a pocket with cheesecloth. And I sewed some seed packet on it. So this all goes in here. Another sewn envelope. And there's her little comb and another little postcard that she would have sent home to Chase to come and get Lorna. And some more muslin. Hope this isn't frame. And another little hat. And here, her mama's favorite color was pink, because it's mine. And we just made a little tag with some just rusticy, what I thought would be in the cabin. And she had found some flowers along the way, so she just stuck a piece of flower in there. And there's just a mulberry pocket with some more material, another piece of her mama's material. I could just see her wearing that and her not wanting to let go. And then just some really rusticy fun tags. When I read these books, I just go nuts at my table and just kind of put myself in character of what they would have their hands on, which wouldn't be much. And this is just a pretty piece of, this came from Crafty Irina cheesecloth, a pretty piece of material, all coffee dyed and rustic. And again, this is just some probably tsunami rose, and just a rustic tag that goes in there, in a bag with a tag. I just sewn some peach flowers on it. That back. And a little material. And another little book you can write on it. Music paper. And another little music paper. And this is just a little notebook. So that is Lorna's journal. Pretty paper. I can't remember whose paper this was. And this is just closed with seam binding. So that is my take of a shabby vintage traveler's notebook. And it was a lot of fun. And thank you for watching. And I'll be back. I have another one. Bye.